blue skies.
Yeah.
We always have the worst luck with these.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're a little bit behind. We're having some technical difficulties. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat box. I'm having some issues with my sound right now.
Where's the regular chat box for everybody else?
Okay, so I can't hear anything, but it looks like you guys can all hear me, which is excellent. So I will go ahead and start. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat box, and hopefully Mitchell or Jennifer can get to you and answer those. We have Mitchell on the line with us.
Good afternoon, everyone.
And we have Jennifer on the line with us, which neither of them I can hear right now. So sorry for the little bit of a late start, but we're ready to get started now. And we're going over, this is going to be a little bit different than our last webinar. Our last webinar went over really specifically on attachments and how to insure them and how to know a single wide from a double wide. We'll go review some of that as well. But this program also is going to focus on doing more with our programs and reviewing our programs and the coverages and things like that. So speaking of our programs, we have a few different programs. We have our Signature Adult, which is an HO3 form, and it's replacement cost on dwelling automatically included. Our Senior Standard program, comprehensive form, it's ACV on dwelling, and there is no buyback to get replacement cost on the dwelling. We also have our Family Park program, which is also a comprehensive form with ACV on dwelling, but there is buyback coverage available on that program for replacement costs on the dwelling. Our approved subdivision, again, ACV with buyback, and our private property, which again is ACV, but it does have buyback available. We also have a DP1 program, which is our dwelling property program on mobile homes. It's a basic form. We do offer replacement cost on units that are 1994 and newer, and it is ACV on units older than 1994. If you don't have access to the DP1 program, you can contact your territory manager and they can get you access to that program. So let's talk about our Signature Adult program first. These are for units that are 15 years and newer at the time of the application that are in an adult park. The Senior Adult program is written on an HO3 form and is replacement cost. So replacement cost is automatic on our Signature Adult program. We have coverage A up to $125,000, $50,000 coverage C is included, and we have liability up to $300,000. However, for the $300,000 coverage, they have to have an underlying umbrella. We also have personal property floaters available, and the unit can be rented out. So if the owner it's owner occupied for 3 months of the year, it can be rented up to 6 months per year with no additional charge. And park models are permitted on this program. Our Senior Standard program, now for those of you who have been writing the Senior Standard program, you'll notice a difference in the age. Used to be 16 to 30, so we've just increased the amount for 35. So you can now write units from 16 to 35 years old at the time of the application in adult parks for our senior standard program. It's written on an ACV form, comprehensive ACV form, but there is no buyback available in this program. We do offer replacement cost on it's included with replacement cost on contents, and coverage A, we have limits up to 85,000. 50,000 coverage C is included, and on this program, we only have liability up to 100,000. We do have personal property floaters available on this program. And again, as long as this is owner occupied at least 3 months out of the year, it can be rented up to 6 months per year with no surcharge. Now, our family park program are for units that are 1994 and newer at the time of the application in family parks. It's written on a comprehensive and it's ACV. However, there is buyback for replacement cost on the dwelling. Replacement cost on contents can also be purchased, and we have coverage A up to 75,000. 40,000 coverage C is included, and with this one, again, liability only up to 100,000. This one also can be rented out if it's owner occupied for 3 months out of the year. Our approved subdivision, very similar to our family park. It's for 1994 and newer. It, again, is written on a comprehensive form and is ACV. There's also buyback replacement cost on the dwelling, and replacement cost on contents can be purchased. On this one, however, we only have coverage A up to 75,000, and 30% coverage C is included, so a little bit lower there, and liability only up to 50,000 on this program. Now, this one cannot be rented, so if you're an approved subdivision, it must be owner occupied for 10 months out of the year. So our private property, with private property, again, 1994 and newer, again, just like our approved subdivision and family park, it is on a comprehensive form. It's ACV. There is, again, buyback for replacement cost on dwelling. Replacement cost on contents can be purchased. And we have coverage A up to 100,000. 30,000 on coverage C. And again, with this one, is a little bit lower, liability only up to 50,000. Again, this one cannot be rented. So owner occupied at least 10 months out of the year, and we do not allow farm or saddle animals. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. I don't know why that happened. Looks like, okay, looks like we're good now. Okay, let me go ahead back into there. There we go. So let me just go over some of the points of the DP1. All right, for some reason, it looks like it keeps muting me automatically. The webinar service does not like me. Mitch, you want to continue? I'll go ahead. I'll monitor what you're saying, and I'll try to turn the slides for you at the right time because it just keeps muting me automatically every time I start talking.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'll start on with the DP1. Can everyone hear me? Perfect. Okay. DP1, ladies and gentlemen, is our dwelling fire policy, specifically designed for older mobile homes. As you can see, the program is designed for manufactured homes, manufactured 1970 and newer. The DP program is written on the Dwelling Property 1 form. 1994 and newer replacement cost is available. Otherwise, it is an actual cash value policy. Coverage C is not included, but you can purchase up to 50% of coverage A, but that will also be actual cash value. Coverage A is available in increments of 5,000 from 10 up to 75,000. Liability up to 100,000. And of course, tenant occupancies are permitted, but there is a surcharge. All right. If wind coverage is purchased, guys, a 4-point is required. I cannot stress this enough. We seem to have some issues where agents are writing some policies with wind and not realizing that if a DP1 is written with wind, a 4-point is required, and the roof must be 15 years and newer, no matter what roof type, ladies and gentlemen. So even if it's a nice metal roof, if it's over 15 years, we will not be able to write it with wind. Okay. Did I lose Stacy? All right, coverage A, dwelling, guys. Your coverage A amount is determined based on the length and width of your unit. This does not include any attached add-on structures. Guys, the way we define an add-on structure is anything the manufacturer does not screw in at the manufacturing plant and is not under the same roof line. So that's really the easiest way to figure that out. We've developed some guidelines that will assist you in providing an adequate coverage A amount for the dwelling. As you can see, it's pretty simple, ladies and gentlemen, especially compared to most of the other markets. It's price per square foot based on age. We do allow the option to add 5,000 to it, of course, because they all either think that it's, you know, the Taj Mahal or it's just a mobile. So if they don't feel they're getting enough value, you do have the option to add 5,000 to it. Okay. Let's see. And if there's any questions, guys, you guys can always contact an underwriter. Some of the things that I'm going to throw in. Oh, Stacy, I'm going to have you go back real quick, love. Sorry. Some of the things that I've run into, guys, is that we're finding some mobile homes are coming up with higher values. Be aware that our programs do allow you to go up to 250,000. The home must meet a wind HUD load zone requirement, though, in order to obtain those higher limits. Hopefully that makes sense. The way that it works, guys, is that newer mobile homes, typically 2000 and newer, are built to a wind HUD load zone requirement, and they're usually a wind HUD load zone 1, 2, or 3. If it is a wind HUD load zone 3, you have the option to increase coverage A up to 250,000. If it is a wind HUD load zone 2, the home must be installed permanently on a concrete foundation, which means there's no open crawl space. It is directly on the slab. If it is a wind HUD load zone 1, we do not provide the higher limit options. Is everybody understanding what I'm trying to relay on this? Oh. Okay. Let's see. So let me read this verbatim, guys. Do you need higher coverage limits? Yada, yada, yada. Wind HUD load zone 1 and or 2, and the unit is permanently attached to the foundation, then it can qualify for higher limits. As I said, 2 or 3, you've got to please be advised that this information is not known to you. Simply disregard these questions. If you select HUD wind load zone and or indicates the unit is installed on a permanent foundation in the online rating system, then you will be memoed by an underwriter to provide proof as such. To the right is a data plate. The data plate identifies a unit's wind HUD load zone. This varies from each home regardless of location. A copy of this document will be required to be submitted if the the HUD wind load zone is selected. This is available, guys, usually in one of the closets or in one of the cabinets where the make, model, serial number is. This is often a popular question. They do vary per model, but usually it's in the utility closet or in one of the kitchen cabinets is where you're going to find that identifier. Let's see, Amy, DP1X1 is available statewide with when policies will be, okay. And any questions on the HUD wind load zone, guys? Oh, Sunny said. Okay. Where do I enter the HUD wind load zone information? On the first page of the quote, guys, as you can see, Stacy's highlighted at the bottom of the screen. You have the option to apply the HUD wind load zone. Repeat 2 again. And then obviously the option to check the box if it's installed on a permanent foundation. Does everybody see that? Repeat 2 again. Okay, so if you need to go above what our limits are based on the program and you need above the 125 or the 85 or the 75, you do have the option if it meets those criteria to go up to 250. Stacy, you want to turn the page? All right. Coverage B, guys, unattached structures. There's no coverage included in the base policy for unattached structures except DP1, which includes 10%. For all programs except DP1, you guys do have the option to add coverage for unattached structures up to 10% of coverage A. We do require a description of the unattached structure just so we know what we're covering. All right. Okay, discounts, guys. Please remember that we do offer discounts if they have a fire extinguisher, a smoke alarm, or if they are a non-smoker. If it's gated or guarded, we'll provide a discount. Membership in AAA, AARP, or FMHO, which is the Florida Manufactured Homeowners Organization. If they have membership in that, they can all get 5%. We also write flood, ladies and gentlemen. We do offer a 5% discount if you write the home and the flood with us, and they're not already at the maximum limit of credits. So that's something to keep in mind, guys. And also remember, we do offer gift cards for every flood policy that you write as well. Sorry, guys, plane is taking off. Give me 1 second. Next, we do offer the electronic policy distribution delivery. They can get a $10 discount on their mobile home policy if they would like the policy emailed to them. One thing I have noted on that discount, ladies and gentlemen, is that I see a lot of agents are putting in the email address, but they're not checking the box. So make sure if you're going to apply the credit that you check the box and put in the email address to make sure that they get that credit. New credit, ladies and gentlemen, for age of roof in the Signature Adult Program. This is available to you guys. It's a new one. If the roof is a newer roof, they can get some discounts off of their hurricane premium. This is a nice new credit that we've rolled out into the Signature Adult Program. So definitely keep your eye on that box and make sure that the roof age is in there and that it is correct. Of course, water control device, if they have a secondary programmable water shutoff, they have the option to qualify for a discount. Whether it reports to the alarm company, they can get a bigger discount. If it just reports to them locally, they can also get a discount. And then, of course, our program is designed for senior citizens, so anyone over 50 can qualify for a discount if they're in a family park, approved subdivision, or private property risk. So keep these in mind, guys. You can take up to, oh, you're testing me here today, up to 15% off of the hurricane premium or the discounts. So keep that in mind. What are attached structures? Well, I kind of already rambled on about that a little bit earlier, but as we've said, there is no coverage in the base policy for any attached structures. These structures are typically added to the unit once it has been delivered to the site. Add-on structures are all those structures except skirting, steps, and railings. Those are the only 3 items that are part of coverage A, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you that sat in last year, remember even I got one wrong because I thought metal awnings were under coverage A, but they're not. They have to be scheduled separately. So attached to the mobile that do not meet all of the following criteria. So weather tight and suitable for year-round occupancy, service with the same heating and air conditioning as the rest of the mobile, subject to the mobile home title requirements of the state, and floor is at the same level as the kitchen and bathrooms. So that's how you're going to find out if we're going to consider that part of coverage A. Amy, yes. Amy Alexander asked if the system will let them know if the park is closed. Yes, the park, we will identify whether the county, the park, or the zip code is closed as soon as you put in that information and you go to the second page of the quote, Amy. So it should be alerting you right away. How do I schedule attached structures? The most common types of attached structures are carport sheds, weather-tight rooms, vinyl rooms, screen rooms, utility rooms, metal awnings, and garages. And for those of you that are my agents, unfortunately, you have had to look at my horrible artwork drawing showing you those items. You can schedule up to a maximum of 6 attached structures in any of our programs, with exception to the DP1. Remember, the DP1, you can only schedule 3 attachments up to $5,000 a piece. Attachments added in 1994 or later you can schedule up to a total of 25,000. Anything attached prior to 1994, our maximum limit is 10,000. Dave, carports have to be scheduled separately. So that's actually where we're at right now. There are individual limits based on the attachment type, ladies and gentlemen, that are built into the coverage selection page. So for those of you that have your quick looks, you can actually see, you know, based on the age of the attachments, if it's older, we've got some lower limits. If they're newer, you get the higher limits. You know, a 30-year-old shed is only 500, a new shed's 2,000. So, and keep in mind, this is based on the age of the attachment, not the dwelling. So you can mix and match based on age. So just keep that in mind, especially for those of you that have gone through hurricanes in the past with us. Okay, Stacy, whenever you're ready, love. All right, uninsurable attachments. Okay, the bad news, guys. There are a handful of attachments that are uninsurable in our programs. Awnings or other attachments made of cloth or canvas. So I just made a comment a minute ago about metal awnings. So metal awnings we will cover as a scheduled attachment as an other attachment. Cloth and canvas awnings, we will not provide coverage for because, of course, in an afternoon thunderstorm, those can rip and get torn away. Let's see. Structures not of strong, durable material or not conforming to local building codes. Swimming pools, pool cages, greenhouses, and satellite systems. Those are also some that we have found have kind of snuck onto policies by accident in the past. So just make sure you're aware that if they have a pool cage, greenhouse, or satellite, we are not going to extend any coverage to them. Boom. Okay. Oh, my favorite one. What is a park model? Okay, guys. In some areas of the state, we do have park models. I call it the new single wide. If you're as old as I am and know what the old single wides used to look like. We do insure them in some of our programs. The American Traditions and Modern USA offer coverage for park models in the Signature Adult program. Over recent years, there has been some confusion regarding what a park model truly is. And really, guys, I'm kind of break it down. We call it one thing, the state calls it another. So this is actually the best way to determine what we consider to be a park model. Park model is typically a smaller unit of 400 or more square feet total living area that has been built to the same HUD codes as a standard manufactured home. So that's actually going back to the wind HUD load zone, guys and gals. Photos below are examples of some park models. The way that I tell my agents, ladies and gentlemen, is it's got to have a shingle roof. It has got to have a permanent AC system, and it has got to have permanent plumbing. No running lights, no brake lights, no license plates, nothing of that. So the best way to do it is if it's got a shingle roof, permanent AC, and plumbing, it's a pretty good chance we're going to take it. As you can see, there are some photos below that the state also classifies as a park model. So travel trailers, fifth wheels, and destination trailers do not meet our interpretation. So even if the title says it's a PM, make sure you actually physically look at the risk and it has that shingle, AC, and plumbing to make sure it's going to qualify. And remember, if you're uncertain, you always have the option to email your marketing rep or one of the underwriters a photo, and we can confirm with you whether or not that's what we consider to be a park model. Okay, give us just 1 second, guys. There's a small lag. Okay, someone is asking if a DP1 can be owner-occupied, guys. It can be owner-occupied. You also have the option to have it be tenant-occupied. What questions do we have, ladies and gentlemen? All right, okay. Let me look through, see if there's any questions that I missed, ladies and gentlemen. Sound. Carports as an attachment. All right. DP1 is water damage from plumbing. Yes, Dave. There is no water damage coverage or theft coverage in the DP1. Basically, the way that I break it down is we're going to give them fire, lightning, internal explosion. We're going to give them debris removal with or without wind, which is a great selling point for those of you that have insureds just wanted to get GL type policies. So it is a good selling point that we do have the debris removal built into that DP1, even if it's an X-wind. They have the option for, CGCC is included in the base policy with the option for sinkhole. And then, of course, they have the option for wind as well if they have the 4-point and the roof is 15 years and newer. So all 19 are available. And Amy, I'm trying to catch up with you, love. Can you repeat requirements for wind HUD load zone 2? Okay, James, the wind HUD load zone 2 has to be installed on a concrete foundation in order to qualify for the higher limits. So if it's a 1 or 2, it must be on a permanent foundation, no crawl space. If it's a wind HUD load 3, you're good to go. I'm hoping that should help out that one. Amy, so all 1994 and older are only available in DP1 form. Okay, Amy, no, the way it works is DP1 is 1970 and newer, all adult park only. We also have the signature adult program, which right now is 15 years and newer only in an adult park. We also have the senior standard program. Give me 1 second, Sonny, and I'll come back to you guys. I'm trying to catch all of them as quick as I can. The senior standard is now back to 35 years. So we're actually back to 1982 in an adult park. Anything outside of an adult park, Amy, is going to be 1994 and newer only. Jamie, Sonny, just on the sinkhole for DP1, we don't offer sinkhole. It's not included. Catastrophic ground collapse is automatically included in the DP1, but they have the option to qualify for sinkhole coverage if they would like to. We don't offer sinkhole. Catastrophic ground collapse. Sorry, there we go, guys. I'm reverbing on myself. Can we rate DP1 if this property is not in their primary in Florida? Yes, you can. We kind of design all of our programs, guys, so that they're not their, if they have another home outside of Florida, you can still ride it with us. We kind of cater to the snowbirds. That's kind of our sweet spot. So the only time we have a problem is if they have more than one home in Florida. So if they've got, you know, the vacation mobile over on the lake in Sebring, but, you know, they live here in Sarasota and they go back, quote unquote, every 2 weeks, that's not the type of risk that we're going to accept. Let's see. Have I covered everybody's questions? Repeat when load. I got that one. Jennifer got that one. I got that one. Does skirting have to be solid? Roof pitch? No, skirting doesn't have to be solid, guys. We'll take the concrete or we'll take the aluminum skirting. So you're fine on that one. Basically, the rule of thumb, as long as my scrawny butt can't get up under there, you should be good to go. Roof pitched or is flat okay? Really not an issue on mobile. So we only have a problem with flat roofs on site-built homes, which, of course, that rule is 10% or less. Sean, we absolutely love risk with no prior. That's another one that we cater to. Last I heard, there were 300,000 mobile homes uninsured in the state of Florida. So we try to make it as easy as possible for them to come back into the insurance industry. In the standard programs, they're just get a no loss statement and you're good to go. On the DP1 program, get a no loss statement, but there is a surcharge in the DP1 program, ladies and gentlemen, if there's no prior. No problem. What else can I do for you, ladies and gentlemen? I think the main points that we wanted to point out to you guys is the option for higher limits other than what you actually see on the paper. With regards to that wind HUD load zone requirements, that seems to be a really popular question. A couple items from the last webinar that we did, while I give time for anybody that has any last minute questions. Remember, metal awnings have to be scheduled as another attachment. Remember, make sure you know your policy form, whether the dwelling has replacement on it, or if it's actual cash value, or whether it's an optional coverage. We had some issues last year with some agents selling ACV policies and telling the insured it was replacement. Another item from last year's webinar is, I hope this is not recorded, Amy. Nobody wants to hear my horrible voice, love. Another item is with regards to don't rely on the insured to relay to you what attachments are there. Make sure you always check alternative sources. Property appraiser, I know can be difficult, but try and see if you can find it there. Google, Bing, Google Earth. Just because you're asking Ethel if she has attachments doesn't necessarily mean Ethel is understanding. When will we access the DP1 program? Ingrid, you should already have access. If not, make sure that you contact your marketing rep and they will be able to get you set up right away. Okay. Next item, guys, that we covered last year was oh, and the cost estimator. Make sure you guys use our cost estimator. So I think those were kind of the main points that we wanted to point out this year. We are going to be pretty aggressive this year on mobile homes. It's going to be our focus. We're trying to make some tweaks to the needs that you guys have brought to our attention. We've already bumped back a few years to that 82 and newer in the program. And we've heard everybody's wants and needs, and we're going to see what we can do to bring these items to the table for you. Okay, guys, any other questions? Yeah. Yes, Cindy. Unfortunately, we don't provide a discount on any of our products if the flood is written through another carrier. So if you do want to apply that 5% discount to the mobile or home or DP3 or HO3, it does have to be written through our company. We utilize Torrent as our vendor, which most of you are already familiar with. And keep in mind, your insured's going to save potentially save 5% off their premium, and you potentially can put a $10 gift card in your pocket. Little bribery goes a long way, right? We try. Okay. What about Martin and Palm Beach availability? I don't believe, Paula, that we are writing any risk in Palm Beach County. And with regards to Martin County, unfortunately, I handle the West Coast, Paula. So I'm going to let Jennifer answer that. Oh, Stacy jumped in. So right now, Martin and Palm are X-Wind only. Thank you, Stacy. Are there any other areas on your side, Stacy, that are X-Wind only? Oh, okay. For those West Coast agents, I can tell you everything is pretty much open unless it's within 1,500 feet of tidal water. So you pretty much should be wide open on the West Coast, ladies and gentlemen. If you do bump into anything that is not within 1,500 feet of tidal water and it is coming up as closed, please make sure that you check with myself, Jennifer, Cindy, anybody else in the marketing department, and we'll do our best to figure out what's going on. All right. Push that capacity, Stacy. Okay, guys. Any other questions for us? Okay, guys. I know the slides will be posted or are already posted on the website under the bulletin section. So if anybody has questions, this is a good reference. It's also available under our quick looks, under our product quick looks is kind of our brief version of it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Stacy, myself, Jennifer, Guy, or Cindy. We'll be able to help you out. Other than that, guys, I guess I'm going to sign off and thank you all for joining us. On behalf of Stacy, Jennifer, and myself, Cindy, and Guy, thank you so much and hope you all have a wonderful day.